Before the microphone, man and boy, I'm known as a man with an indestructible voice. I have played Cobra Commander and lived. 3 days of Metro, it's destroyed.
Sorry. I apologize.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
That was so good. One person was out of sync, though, so we need to go again. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Always one. Always. There it is. Hot.
Florida hot.
It's because you're here.
Florida.
Yeah, it's because he's here.
Yeah.
It's
It's hotter because you're in here.
Who said that? I love you. Nerves.
I talked to
Oh, man. Not to mention, I think I'm allergic to water and heat. It's like eyes puffy, can't see.
I'm allergic to air.
I like this panel.
Turn up the air conditioning. My makeup is melting.
Aye.
Can you hear me in the back? No. Lie. Mercury. All right, I'll use this. Ha! There, solve that problem. I was just want to use one of these things.
See how it works.
So I'm going to do the entire panel as a mime piece today.
And the room clears out.
No.
You love talking too much, Scott.
I'm in a box. I'm walking into the wind here.
You're not in a box, Scott. You're in a pickle
Hi,
jar.
welcome to our Sunday meeting. Come on in. Want to meet our new brother. Good morning. Welcome to our cult. That's great. Today is Children's Day up on the 3rd floor. So today is what we like to call tender meat cannibalism. It's going to be awesome, and I hope you brought your appetites. I know I did. Human flesh, the other white meat. So how's everybody? We did that already, didn't we?
Amazing. Woo.
Okay, my brain is mush.
It's okay, we all.
Mush.
I think all of
You know what I want to get?
Yeah, it's Sunday, man.
Little tiny cowboy hat. Cowboy Lolita.
Ooh.
They can make you one
We
like
can
this
make it
and then have
happen.
a little cowboy hat on top of it.
That would be
We
awesome.
wanted to braid your hair yesterday.
Really? I
Yeah.
haven't had my hair braided in ages.
Oh.
I like having my hair
I think that would be nice.
Do it.
Yeah, you should just go do
I
it now.
don't, as you may have noticed. It's the one thing I forgot to pack. See, and I'll be like, dude, not even take the hat off, except I'm already soaked, sweaty, and hat head 101. So, welcome to Stopping
It's like a rock star.
It's like, he's not bald! I thought the hair was sewn into the hat.
I think we'd freak out.
I'm
Yeah.
actually not Scott McNeil, I'm a Scott McNeil cosplayer. Seriously, I got this whole thing in the dealer's room. It's a onesie.
Really? How much
I
was
believe
it?
it.
It's a footy, too.
How much was it? I want
Wow,
that.
I'm comfortable. I'm sitting on my own fucking
Go Wolverine on it and just flip it.
Frickin' right, so I'll go over.
Yeah.
Couple of Ryan Coke, I'll frickin' pound this thing right now. So as usual, I brought you here I got stuck between two different bits there, and my head went. Suppose you're wondering why I brought you over here.
Yeah.
Because you're misfits, you're rogues, you're mutants. You don't fit in. I intend to take you and forge you into the most cohesive,
act everything.
dangerous, lethal fighting force that's ever been assembled. It's gonna be tough, it's gonna be a hard fight. Not all of us are gonna survive. Yes, there will be cannibalism. But if you get proud of the brave that are left, we will be the Otaka Army.
God bless Wolverine.
Everyone.
So if anyone has questions, I would love you because otherwise I'm going to sit up here and ramble like a crazy. What do you think?
Somebody asked a question.
You know, this is the only place in the world where it's like I'm still wet from the shower, but I'm also soaked with sweat. God bless Florida.
Will you marry us?
Okay.
All
All
of us.
Marry me.
The syntax is important here. Will I, as an ordained minister, marry you
No.
two to each other, or will
No,
I,
you marry both of us.
as me
We're gonna
having
do
the best
polygamy
day
here.
of my life, marry you two
Yes.
as my beloved brides? Yes,
Yes.
I will. Could you all just turn your backs for, you know, we need some time.
no, it's not happening.
Yes, I will marry you. Okay. Chicken man.
Chicken man.
Can you say in Voltaire's voice, I am evil, stop laughing?
Remember that whole bit where I said I came in and my voice was blown for the first time in 25 years?
That's a no.
No, it's never a no.
It's never a no.
I
It's
will
a.
do anything for you except a son death.
Well, you did the Twinkie thing yesterday.
Let me the Twinkie. Evil, so shut up. Hey, that Steve. I don't care. Sugar.
Oh, now it's really good.
God, like sugar.
My brain just shut off. Hi, we're back. Welcome back to the show. We just took a temporary break in the action. Yes. Yes. I hate pointing, but it's.
Out of all of your roles that you've ever done, including live action, video game, anime, and Western animation, what was like your most fun or the coolest your favorite to do?
Damn you and your good questions.
See, I know you do more than anime. I check.
I know. I'm impressed. Of all things, wow, that's, I mean,
Or you pick one from each category. I mean, that works too.
one from Bebop, one from column A, one from column B, or you can just have the combo with broccoli. All the way delicious, thank you, that is very good.
Very good.
See what these eyes have seen. I've done, wow. Because I mean, you know, just in cartoons I've done, I honestly figure over 12,000 episodes of various things. And they're all, like, I've never had a day where you go like, oh, I gotta go slave away in front of a hot microphone for a couple hours. Yes. Get a big bucket of money at the end of it. Stuff's heavy. Carry around that cash. There's, I mean, Voltaire was a ton of fun. Thank you for being, you know, I don't know how many people watch that down here. Because they let us be creative maniacs on that show. It was myself, Lee Tokar, Colin Murdoch, and then the
Awesome.
multi-psychotic, brilliant Tabitha St. Germain. And I mean, we spent a lot of time just rolling on the floor. We're like, we stop it. It's like, I want to stop. The laughing hurts. Show me the Dolly where he made you laugh. All the Beast Wars stuff was fun. You know, a lot of the stuff I've said before too. I mean, I'm still going, yeah, I got to be Herbie the Elf and Herudo. Playing Wolverine was cathartic. I just got to break everything. I told you guys my fart story, didn't I? I done on camera. I just did that episode of Psych, and that was a lot of fun because I got horribly maimed, mangled, mutilated, and brutally murdered by 3 comedy legends: Christopher Lloyd, Garrett Morris, and Martin Mull. I'm just going like,
That episode.
keep. And what you're not allowed to do is go and go, Christopher Lloyd, you know, I'm a big fan of yours. He is intense. He is a scary, intense man. Waiting for camera to roll. We're just looking at each other. I'm like, if you don't roll that camera, he's going to make my head explode like a scary. They're all fun. The weirder ones are the funnest for me. Like, they're really strange. I do a lot of stuff, and not a lot of people, I don't even know if you've seen them, but I kind of get to Frank Welker a lot. Yeah. As in, a lot of times I am paid to not talk, but I am paid to convey, oh, look who shows up. Waltzing in, you don't call, you don't write, we're all right. Everybody stare and point.
Can we get wishes?
I did a show
We
called
want
Sushi
to wish
Back.
now.
Did anybody ever teach sushi pack?
Yeah.
That's all I did for like the whole series. But so,
Can I have the entire planet? Oh, God bless
whose panel is this? Whose panel, Mr. Fancy Cowboy Hat? Oh wait, maybe it's yours. I told you I wasn't the real Scott McNeil. I got the job from Scott McNeil before me, and the original Scott McNeil was retired and living like a king in Patagonia. Dread pirate Scott. I just got the best idea.
What is
We have
MCNeil?
enough for a crew.
Yeah.
There's a pirate ship right outside. I feel there could be piracy going on today. Soon, we'll take the entire western seaboard. The rest will unfold us. You know what? Smarty pants. Here is the state of Florida. Yes, it is the eastern seaboard. However, we in Tampa are facing the west Gulf, which makes it the western seaboard. I'm from Canada, and that's how it works.
I love him.
Time, you know. It's weird. 10-hour days, 100-hour minutes. So, I mean, yeah. What do you do? I played men, women, children, all sorts. It's just, it's. I have the dumbest, greatest job. Yes, because your shirt's on fire. It's actually on the back. Your shirt is on. Holy crap!
All right, so we were kind of doing some research right beforehand, and we saw that you did Hector from League of Legends.
Yes.
Did you do any other characters for that?
I did a whole bunch of characters on League. I work on it quite regularly.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't remember who.
'Cause
The only reason I knew about Hector
when you
was
did
somebody
the
come up and went, oh my god, you were the
When
worst.
you did the Voltar for the quote he asked you for at the beginning, that was a quote from a League character.
Okay.
From Viger.
I had a feeling. I
And
was
it
always
was
like,
very-
I don't know. You're gonna ask me to say something. I'm gonna have no idea why I'm saying
It
it.
was an extremely similar voice. And also, just another comment. I was standing up here doing security at the beginning, and my name's also Scott. So everyone's talking about Scott, and we go, oh, oh.
Yeah.
No.
They love it. They love
I
it.
heard somebody say that, and I was like, wait, is he here?
Oh, for Scott.
Oh God.
Chug.
Dang, he's thirsty.
That would have been. What I heard there was, Scott, you cut your cheese. I don't know if that's an American term, but up in Canada, that
I said cut, not cut.
means stopping in for a cheese break.
Oh, you.
Thank you, kind sir.
Chug the
Always in a healthy way, I'm just saying.
Chug the cheese.
Chug the cheese.
Sure.
First time I did that, I realized that heat and humidity and pressurized cheese adds up to, I'm like, I'm gonna do a little shot of cheese and start.
I think that was in the Inuyasha panel.
It might have been. All censorship boards were on in my head saying, don't make the obvious joke.
Maybe here, we won't tell.
It's too late. I just did in my head. It goes out there. Okay, Mr. Fancy Cowboy Hat Guy with the thing that thinks he's running his own panel. See if it's easy as you think it is.
I imagine so. And by the way, who
You
would
want
think
to
would
dump
win
your
a battle
voice?
between Dinobot and Wolverine?
Who would what?
Who would win in a battle between Dinobot and Wolverine?
Pie.
Flavor.
Yes.
Flavor.
Dinobot and Wolverine are both my creations. They live inside my own head. Consequently, they are also my livelihood and my paychecks. I, as puppet master, am not dumb enough to kill off one of my paychecks with my own.
Okay.
No, I mean, that could be like a perpetual motion machine from sort of a metaphysical level, because you have something that's basically indestructible fighting with something else that is indestructible. It could be the perfect source of energy to power the planet, the universe, and everything.
That or no bridge.
It's just a constant supplying of energy, heating up molecules and destruction that is always constantly being repaired by itself.
Sounds kind of like Dragon Ball Z logic.
I'm sorry, you said Dragon Ball Z and Logic? Or the other one,
What a
6
guy.
days of going, are they ever going to float down out of the sky and stop fighting in an impossible race?
No, our better
Every
question
time
is,
there's
are
a
they looking
huge
for a
punch, all of a
punch?
sudden everything stops. You're like, when do I make the impact sound? I don't know, somewhere. Oh, Japan. We're going to name all of our characters after household items. It's like, what do we call special? Red knife. Underwear. Briefers. Tronco. Oh. Cheetah. Harmonica. Ah, orchestra. Piccolo. It's like, oh, number. 1, 2, 3. I'm always weirded out by how they name stuff. And randomly, they just pick up a theme. They'll like open up a book and go, things that begin with the letter R. Did I answer anything? Good. That's usually really. Hi.
Hi.
You're gonna ask me something really smart, aren't you?
Yes. When did you did you always know that you wanted to be an actor, or did
Yeah,
like,
a lot of doctors were warning my parents when I was young that this was a
Was it just like-
diagnosis and there wasn't much treatment available.
just came out making voices? Hi.
I kind of did.
Yeah,
It
basically.
was sort of a weird paradox, and it still is in my everyday world, because basically at my heart I am like practically borderline autistic shy. So bang, how do we get out of that? I'm going to make other people to live in my head with me.
It's kind of scary.
Awesome! No one's ever going to pay money to hear those silly little voices years ago.
How are you not going? So many voices.
But yeah, I mean, I've goofed around with, I don't feel like what I used to get kicked out of school for. I remember being a little kid, and it was, watching shows and going like, doing, being all embarrassed with it. But doing that.
That's what I
I
do.
wasn't thinking about being an actor at that point. It was just because I was weird.
Yeah.
I got people living in my head, I got to get them out.
That's
It wasn't until I, sort of finished high school and stuff. You know what? This is what I do. I wish there was a choice. Dear God, if there was a choice, no sane person would do what I do.
I would do it.
Baby dog. Yeah, we saw you sneak in, Mr. Sneaky Itty person. It's all staring at him. Everybody turn.
They're trying to get away.
Now give him a little one of these.
I'm giving the evil eye.
It's the disappointed mom look stuff.
Try to come in here.
Then I decided that was in fact what I wanted to do, and I went
That's
through
awesome.
4 years full-time theatrical training to study my Ibsen, my Shakespeare, my Molière, and I was going to be a serious actor off the stage. I actually got kicked out of theater school
Really?
for being too weird, and told that I would never make it as an actor.
Oh my gosh.
6 million of these later, baby!
Then I'm happy for myself.
And so in a lot of regards, I'm probably the most
God.
successful person that's ever come out of that program.
God,
But I also
crazy.
done a lot of other training. I continued after that, and all of it comes into play. Like people always think, voice actors is about being a voice actor.
not.
I did study dance, mime, boom, because when we do characters in the studio, we're not standing, with the exception of Ian James Corlett, we're not standing there with our hands in our pockets being brilliant. I don't know how he does it. It's just like, boom, it's gold.
You have to act it
When
out,
you're doing a character, everything. You're doing a character like you're doing it on stage.
basically.
And when you're having freak out stuff between yourself, it's like people watching it, you just keep like everything goes
I know.
and change because you got the one conduit, the one device into which whatever that magic thing is, and there's a string and it takes your characters and it puts them in a box. Some technology thing. So you bring everything into a character.
Everything.
You don't go, what would he sound like? I create the character first, and usually then it's when the voice starts to fall into place. I start with a picture always when I'm auditioning. If I'm looking at the picture, I sort of go, okay, what's the part? How does he feel? well, me, you know, I don't know, he looks like he's kind of standing like this, and boom, boom, and you know, or to find really weird stuff, you gotta get really weird, and you just contort and misshape, and you know, the face goes and the eyes go, and then when it's ready to go, you unleash it, and boom! Hit him with a character cannon. Boom! Take that, Pikachu. You know, it gets to the point, like, I'm scared of myself all the time. I've had to walk into a target, and all of a sudden, a fully developed character will just suddenly pop out.
Can I say something?
No.
I just think it's scary because that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I sometimes walk in the room and I'm like, I'm scared. Like, I don't even know what I'm thinking right now. Like, I have like 3 people in my brain. God, it's horrible. I'm so fucking scared of myself.
And I'm going, I don't know where that one came from. It's not like, you know, it's not like going, oh, that's a cool voice. I mean, that's how you come up with others, always playing with it. And I'll go like, oh, that sounded neat. But sometimes these totally developed beings just start you know,
Coming out.
That wasn't me. I'm sorry, miss, that wasn't me.
That is so funny, man. I want to be up there one day and be acting exactly the same way. So funny.
It's okay. We
It smells funky.
We love you,
And
Scott.
you're like, what happens to a curtain that makes it smell funky? All right.
We love you, Scott.
I love you too. You wait. You will be hearing from her.
Yes.
Any other questions for Scott?
Too many. Too many Scott.
Let's see.
Oh my God, his heart's gonna die. I have it on camera now, so. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tagger.
Do you ever get, say, phone calls from telemarketers and decide to mess with them?
I have been known to.
That would be fun. I should do that one day.
Sometimes, you know, in the sense, sometimes I'm just like, you know, fuck you, I'm tired of hell of you. But yeah, I like to play. I don't do it as much as I used to.
Oh, that's
You know, when I'm working. Dumbest thing I ever did was for a while, you know, it was like doing interesting answering machine messages for myself. And what you end up getting is coming home to 400 messages of click. I go, dude, you gotta check this out, man. Phone this number.
I did that one time with my
Remember,
voiceover, and
ex-wife
my
was
mom's
stuck
like, I didn't even know if that was
It was
you.
just like way
I was
too
like,
crowded,
yeah,
way
it's
too
me.
busy, and I'm getting all claustrophobic. She was overdoing something, and I don't know if I can even get the voice now, but I was just standing there, it's all these people, I was just like, get out of my way!
That's so awesome. That's funny.
Can you use that every day?
You know,
Heart
some
is
phones, they got an
stomping.
accent and they're annoying. I'll just basically there. Hello, I'd like to speak to you. Don't know if it's you. So yeah, the long form, short form version is yes, I. Welcome to the Scott meeting today.
Yeah,
Scott,
my name's
is that
also Scott.
Scott, it's our friend Scott. I am Scott.
Scott.
There's multiple.
No, Sean, not Sean. Another acting question. I'm sorry.
It's so
In
great.
terms of compartmentalization, when you've got to go in for a role audition, you've had just the worst weekend ever. What are the techniques you really use to really just empty yourself and go in
That's a good
as
question.
an empty canvas?
Drugs and alcohol.
I do that all the time.
Besides the obvious, yeah.
Ultimately, exactly.
I do that all the
3.217% of a bottle of Grey Goose. Just get you to that Zen state that people
Humana,
meditate for
humana.
years to achieve. You know what? I mean, that's a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, second-to-second thing with me anyway. Is going, okay, just focus for long enough. And what's weird is, I was suddenly Christopher Walken. Walking dead. It is when I can, like, some people really go in and it's a mental process, right? They're going, you know, I analyze this character and I'm building this thing, and it's a very conscious effort. And, okay, I find the best stuff I do is when I'm actually just kind of sitting outside watching, freaking myself out, going, where did that come from? And I often, I mean, it's a terrible thing to say to anybody that's an aspiring voice cartoon person, but the stuff that I've done that I'm proud of, and characters where people have just gone nuts, you know, like Wasp and all the beast. I just walked in totally unprepared, going, I can't focus, I can't come up with anything, I can't think of this. And sometimes I get up to the mic and I open my mouth and there he is. Sometimes it's not, you know, you have the luxury, sometimes I'm going like, or as I'm doing a character, an audition, I'll be halfway through and something will start to change and I'll go, oh, wait a minute. Okay, you know what, that would be cooler. Okay. They're going, okay, give me another one. It's like, you know, all different takes. I tend to really create on the fly because it's just the only time that it's quiet enough to
That's how
do
I
it.
am. Yeah.
Other people come at it with a very structured, you know, and, you know, if I was teaching right now, I would say, absolutely, this is how you go in. If you are going to go in for, you know, this is how it would work. There's a new prelay show coming in. Here's the characters available. The actors are allowed to pick 3 characters to read for. Go in, prepared off your ass with 2 versions of what you think is good ideas. Because A, you do it, and if you have the luxury of being a bit of a bully and having done it for a while, they go, okay, that's great, we love that, and I go, okay, I got another idea as well, if we want to lay it down as an all. 9 times out of 10, they don't really know what they're waiting to hear until you go in and give it to them. So I've booked stuff like so far off what they were asking for, but going, I got this idea. But the real practical purpose of that is a lot of times you go in and go, okay, this is what I think, and you do it, and in 4 lines in, casting director goes, yeah, what else you got? And if you stand there and go, I don't have, this is what I prepared, you know, it's basically like being undirectable. You know, you do this line, it's brilliant, they go, okay, try it this way, and you go, and you do it the same way every time. They go, it was a great read, but if you can't change on the fly, if you can't shift gears in the middle of the street, you're screwed. And if you just go, I don't have anything else, they go, okay, well, thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah.
It's not even like a personal thing. They go, okay, you know what, and you know, what you did wasn't really what we were looking for. So if you can just suddenly slam them with another one, and they go, okay, that was cool, what else you got? It's like, how about we do them like this? Bam! Yeah. They go, wow, you know, this person's clearly suffering from a debilitating mental illness. Be hired by us immediately. So
They need help.
Paradox, right? It's like going in so prepared to be completely unprepared. And you actually started the question with sort of exactly the right way. Just kind of going, do all your work, get all your shit ready, and then just walk in the door and forget about everything that you've done.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's everything I've ever taught in theater school. It's the easiest thing in the world on paper. But the trick is, and a lot of people don't get it, is you got to do, you know, in my case, I did 25 years of hard work before I ever walked into a studio and got to do, you know, 10 minutes of having the best time of my life. Because then you got the tools there to do it with. You know, technically, just, you know, in speaking, and I don't ever like to talk about creating voices as a voice actor, because I like to think of it as creating characters. But, you know, if you can do the kind of acrobatics that a lot of us can do, that's what makes you hireable, if you apply that to a character. And learning how to do that, I'm constantly finding new stuff. Like, I'll make a noise and you suddenly go like, where did that come from? But it's a gross noise inside my head. And I'm going, I'm going to use that for something. And it's actually where my tonsil used to be. So little things like that. Because people, you know, people will ask, how do you come up with voices? So, you know, the simplest example, you've got 2 voices. You've got a low voice and a high voice. Well, you got 2 voices. That's awesome. You're suddenly going, like, like lateral lisps are always fine. You know, it's like a face. Well, now you don't got 2 voices. Now you got 4. You know, you watch some of this.
Volume.
You know, that Manchester accent is fantastic. Like, I wish I could do that. Oh, look, I could do that. Well, now you don't got 4, you got 8. You know, 16, 32, and then you start combining. It becomes literally an infinite amount of things. So I have what I refer to as the toolbox. You know, shows like DBZ and whatnot, I was already playing 12 characters, and then every episode they go, there's also like, you know, these 10, 13, 20 incidental characters, you're playing them all, there's no time, just go, beep, beep, beep. And they can't sound like anything else. So you just whip into the toolbox and just go, handful of things, poof. You know, what comes out, who knows? But mathematically, it becomes almost infinite very quickly. You know, like I said, the 2 to 4 to 6 table, by the time you got 6, you can start taking bits of those, and then you start combining them, and then you start creating other things. And you know, there's 8 notes in music, 12 technically.
Yeah.
But every bit of Western music is based on that. 12 little notes.
Yeah.
How you put them together.
Strong decisions.
That was good. It's the same with developing characters too. You know, I always say that, you know, there's 3 characters. That's it. There's 3 primary characters. One of them is based on Bing Crosby. I haven't identified the other 2 yet. I realized one day Hank Hill was Bing Crosby. Twisted, but so you know, when you're developing characters, you go in, it's like, well, you know, I'm going to play something that isn't me, so I'll take that. You remember that one person I saw that had that thing of, you just start throwing it into the toolbox and dig around in the play pile and throw on stuff and go, okay, that was cool and interesting. Okay, that felt stupid and something wrong. But that's
More sugar.
You just start.
What are they doing to me?
Mary. Thank you.
I hope it's right.
It's great. Soylent Green is people. What? Or as we said on Reboot once, Soylent Green is Enzo. Okay, that's hot, but we can drink that soon. I'll be wide awake. That's just about when we'll be done. Then I'll be going, okay, got the rest of the day ahead of me now. Woo! Caffeine, 2 things I don't normally do. Yes.
Oh, me?
Cage match, yeah, we'll go take it, then we'll come forward.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just wondering, but do you also play Ace the Bad Hound from Crypto, the Duke Superdog show?
The dog of justice. Yes.
I thought I read.
I was also Ignatius the lizard. Speak hurricanes. You know, that right there, I was like, there was a little Charles Nelson Riley, a little bit of Paul Lynde in there, some boom, some you know. So then I just broke that down into about 20 different components, one character. You know, the laugh came from here, I start with a laugh a lot of times too. Especially when I was starting, that's what I do. It's like, what can the characters laugh? Once you get the laugh, boom. Then the character just starts coming at you. I was gonna sound like a bad burrito. Did I?
Someone just turned the level down.
We don't need no stinking technology. We are professionals.
You don't need
We
this.
play them away with the majesty of our voices.
We do not
We
see
know what
that.
we're doing. As you put a mic in my hand, all of a sudden I feel like I'm doing stand-up. It's like, hey, good-looking crowd. Anyone from out of town here?
Yeah.
Who wants to deal with that airline food, huh? My girlfriend, that was a drag. We got along great, but I'm a comic. I needed the material. Hey. What was the question? Yes.
My question is, what book do you think would make a good anime, and which character would you want to play?
I want to play all of the characters.
No, you can't say that. You got to pick one. No.
I'll tell you straight.
I know.
I mean-
Paycheck, I know.
For shows because they know that I'm going to go in there and read for every single character.
Okay.
I read, and I've ended up playing girls because my theory is the more spaghetti you throw at that wall,
That's true,
the
man.
more chance they're going to stick.
What about
They're
the
like, you're not scheduling me after MCNeil, man. He's in there for an hour. That was a little more old days.
What about the first part of my question then?
Which book would make a
A
great
good anime, yes.
You made it.
You know what, honestly, because I mean, all the books that I am huge, like I'm a huge Terry Pratchett fan. Yeah, Discworld would be great as an animated series, because I've seen a couple of the movies they did, and it's like, with anything like that, like, you know, I watched Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, and I thought they were great, actually, but I've read those books 20 times since I was a kid. I know in my head what every character looks like, so nobody is ever going to get it the way, because everybody sees it differently. So, and you know, my point was, like, as an actual anime, culturally it may not work. You know, because you're sort of putting a Japanese interpret, it may be interesting as hell. You know, so it's like, do the experiment, find out. Let's take that book, you know, we'll do it as a live action, we'll do it as a, you know, traditional cartoon or animated version, do it as an anime.
They did it with Wolverine the anime.
Yeah, yeah, tall, skinny Wolverine.
Or he had a mullet.
Go figure. Yeah, but that's very Canadian. Come on, they're getting working out.
In the show.
Hugh Jackman's too tall to be Wolverine. So yeah, blast you and your intelligent questions. But I've done that. I think all books that go should be done because. But then I'm also like, yeah, but you know what? It's a book. Can I read it instead? I like to read.
I like it.
I can make the character movie in my head.
I like to
I don't have to
read.
see how someone else reads the book. I want to see how I read the book.
Okay, this is on a less serious note. I heard you say this on a panel before, and I have to hear it again. Piccolo, the balls are nerds.
The one he doesn't understand.
I understand. I'm actually really. Doctor, I got a problem. The balls are inert.
Shawn Michaels when you came up to the ring in opening ceremonies.
People named Michaels, it seems to work. Last night, got an evil outside drunk tourist school. Hey, you Brett Michaels! Hey, Brett Michaels! Say something Brett Michaels likes! Dude, I think I asked twice 25 years ago when I started doing this. Who stole whose look from who? Boom. Tell you that. When I said Thomas, when I started doing it, we recorded at a place called Little Mountain Sound in Vancouver, and that was late 80s, and that's where every sort of hard rock pop album that was huge was recorded. My very first day ever doing cartoons, New Adventures of He-Man, I'm so excited. I booked 65 episodes of this thing. I'm no longer an unemployed actor. Oh my God, this is great. Open up the door, bam! Right into Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Goodness gracious.
We'd hang with just like,
That's
you know, they were all
crazy.
there. It was cool.
That's awesome.
C.C. DeVille from Poison actually ended up becoming a character on G.I. Joe, which we were doing at the time, because he's just so nuts, and the writers were like, why don't we just make him a character? Give him an episode of G.I. Joe, and it was like, away we went. Is that anything like an answer?
Oh, that's the question.
Oh, good. Because I'm going, I don't think I remember the question. It's not easy having two wives. You're all my favorites, and I want to get to all of you.
Okay, well, it's kind of like a follow-up on her question. Well, I can tell that you and Vic Mignogna are kind of up there in the voice acting thing, so who do you think is better, you or Vic Mignogna?
Oh, don't answer that question.
So Scott McNeil Penn.
I already know the answer. I just want to know your opinion.
You guys are both.
Professional level. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't want to turn this into slander and slag.
But
But there's a difference between the kind of work we do, you know, in sort of, you know, the LA, Vancouver, and as far as the kind of, I mean, this is no way, shape, or form a reflection on acting or ability, but to really say who's a voice actor, my definition tends to be, you know, I can rip out 434 different characters, and if I'm doing my job right, you're never going to know it's the same person. I had an engineer once go, Scott, you're the only guy, sometimes I got to look up and find out who it is. To me, that's my definition of, you know, it's like as far as movie acting goes, you know, I like people, you know, I go like Daniel Day-Lewis, something like that, where you go, I can't believe it's the same person. And then there are also people who are movie stars who are great. You know, John Wayne was John Wayne in every film he ever did, including Genghis Khan. Better bring them yurts into a circle, Pilgrim. They're coming over the hill. You know, so I'm not even going to answer that with a direct thing. I have a different skill set than, you know, they may have. Plus, as far as I know, he's only ever done anime. You know, catch me outside, I'll tell you the real truth. I like it.
He's done Star Trek. What he's doing.
A fan started.
He created that.
He did?
Yeah.
yes, yeah, he
It's what
created.
I like to call a vanity vessel. Anyway, it's not going to be a slag panel. He's done his own on my version, and we'll have that out one day in public.
short form version, I've been doing this a long time. And I started doing this long before it was about becoming a rock star. I did this because it's what I do and it's my work. And I have so much work. And not, it's all the same voice for everything all the time. Just saying. Okay. Enough said. Oh! Anyway. But having said that, you know, when I was working on Alchemist, I was watching, I'm going, damn, it's good. So, you know, first time I ever met Vic, he cosplayed me. I was doing a panel, and all of a sudden I'm going, why is everybody looking like here? And everybody's laughing. I turned and said, whoa. And he's really good at that kind of shit. You know, because I had a beard at the time and short, kind of spiky blonde hair, and it was just like, and he had the shirt, the mannerisms, and we were going like, ooh. Double me. About the same onesie I did. Anyway, I mean, you know, Vic's also probably a lot more enthusiastic and professional about things than I am. I tend to be a little cynical now. Yes?
Well, in the same vein, excluding Mel Blanc, because you know, freaking Blanc, were there any other voice actors that you looked up to and used as not reference but rather inspiration for your work? Just keep going.
Oh God, yeah. I work in an industry that's rife with geniuses. You know, starting at the base camp of all base camps and the leveling bar for everything, the greatest who has ever lived, Mel Blanc. You know, that's it. That's who I grew up going, oh my God. You know, nobody's ever been as good. With the possible, no, I wouldn't even say the possible exception. Jim Cummings freaks me out. True. Because him, again, you go, wait a minute. Not only is it your Piglet and, you know, and
Tigger,
and Pooh, but it's indistinguishable from the original. People that take over roles tend to get the voice right, but you know, when you're missing the character, the soul. He's a freak of nature. That's the kind of thing that I consider voice acting, to be a real cartoon guy. And there's a difference, and I should probably specify on that to get back to your question. There are cartoon guys, and then anime tends to be it's a different form of work, and it's a different specialty. But you know, when you go like, that's, oh, he would go, what? The whole reason, like I freaked out in Disneyland when I was 12 years old. This is why I became a voice actor. I'm in the Haunted Mansion. I love the Haunted Mansion. Yes. The voice you hear all throughout it is a brilliant man named Paul Frees. Welcome, foolish mortals. When I found out that he was also the little giggle of the Pillsbury Doughboy,
oh my gosh, I did not know.
I'm not alone. You know, that to me is the gift and the skill of voice acting. A really cartoon guy thing, where you go like, wow. You know, people now, I mean, God, Maurice LaMarche, got you know, the brain out. Those guys, like anybody that's sort of known for one or two cool roles, if you look at their resume, you go, oh my God, you were actually everything else in the world. I had no idea. It's very, you know, people go, yeah, you know, I recognize your voice in this show. It's like, well, you know, it's a more sort of acting form of acting. But when they go, you go like, you realize that, wow, they did everything. And it was all the same person. Rob Paulson. You know, I could just give people that I work, you know, I mean, God damn. You know, Lee Tokar, he's a freak. Tabitha. Everything's just like, dude, Colin Murray. You know, those are the people that are the A-listers. You know, the absolute, like, we need this, we can hire this person to be anything. Frank Welker. Yeah. You watch a movie where a bird flies by. Yep. He's the voice of the bird. Not only that, but also, you know, his actual non-animal sounds. But that's just another thing that he can do. He can make sounds that you go, humans don't make those sounds. And he can make them all. I've never actually met him, but I have a buddy of mine that was standing there, it's like, we're standing there waiting to audition, and he's going, I'm hearing all these little servos whirring, and little mechanical clicks and stuff. And he looked over, and it was Frank sitting there, and he goes, oh, sorry, I just do that when I'm... And not like going, oh, that sounds like a person making the sound of it. It's just like he's going like, there's a mechanical thing running. You know, that's the kind of freak of nature genius that I respect and I look up to and I aspire to be all the time. And I constantly, when I started doing this, I started working with people that had been doing it, who were great at it. And every day in the studio, I'm going, oh my God, I'm learning this stuff. You know, just learning. It's like, how do you do that? That is so cool. I want to do that. You know, I'm still just want to get
Claw at it.
Plus, to be honest, you know, you're not making up new stuff all the time. People are going like, well, we can't use that. That character, you know, basically a rehash of a voice use. So I'm going into audition. It's harder and harder to get work, because not only am I now going up against a couple of hundred people that are really good, but I'm also going up against myself every time. You know, you can't just go in and do the same things over and over and over again. Sometimes you do, because that's just the way the character works. Let's face it, Piccolo and Wolverine were not a big stretch. But, you know, you have to be the one that comes up with the most brilliant version of a character when they're auditioning. Because they're going to listen to 200 people and go like, okay, you know, we want the guy to be kind of just normal and this, that, this, the other thing. You got to be the one that they go, wow. And this much more applies to prelay stuff than anime. Anime, because of the nature of the thing, is a lot more about just going in and it's your voice and yourself as this character. Because it's less what I would refer to as cartoony. And that's a different skill set entirely. I'm not nearly as good at that. Like, you know, just use your own voice. What the hell does that sound like? I have no idea. Yes?
Yeah, can you do the scene from the Supernatural?
Do the scene from Supernatural. I don't think they even left any dialogue.
No, I'm talking about, you know, when the part where you got the shotgun and you try to shoot.
And I'm just going like, fumble. I'm just sitting with my legs spread, the camera running by and going, there's a huge ass hole in my head. Take that, Sharon Stone. The funniest thing about shooting that, and we were shooting in the fall, and it was a horrible, horrible Vancouver day. Like, it was stormy and pouring rain, and so of course, shooting that, we shot that in a soundstage. So there's my trailer and shit. So this horrible day outside, we go inside to shoot because this is movies. We have to waste money. So we've got like rain machines and wind machines. You know, it's costing $25,000 a minute to recreate the weather that if I just stuck my head out the real door. You know, so you're leaving your trailer to come in and there's 6 people with umbrellas making sure you stay on. And there we go. And it's like, and action, and you're like, open the door and look out. It's like, people go, why come you were grimacing? You were overacting. It's like, no, man, I had 400-mile-an-hour wind and cold and fake rain plastered. You go, this is such a dumb industry. We just set the trailer outside. We could have shot this in 3 minutes. But so, we don't control that rain. That's not our rain.
It's fake rain.
That's non-union rain. Yep.
Break from the con guy, what is your favorite flavor of cake?
Pie.
What's your favorite pie?
I'm talking seriously. Pie cake? How awesome would that be?
Oh my God.
Cake with a pie inside.
That would be awesome.
Bring.
I'm an apple pie dude. I love apple pie. Because I like cooking, but I'm not much of a sweet tooth. No, I've already done you, so I'm coming over here. But I will get back, honestly. Yes?
Out of all the roles that you've done, how many of them have been like singing roles?
Quite a few, actually. I've been doing more and more that way. I just did a opening theme song for one of those I Can't Yet Discuss It projects. But it involves pirates, which is awesome. You know, it's another one of those skill sets too. You know, when they go in, it's like, oh, by the way, this character has to be able to sing. I hope you can sing. You know, it ain't always the case that we're going to get another person to come in and sing. You know, I did a thing called Chinese Ghost Story. I did a big operatic, like, and also the little romantic love ballad at the beginning, which I love. It's just another thing you have to be able to do when they say we need you to do this. So it's not like a huge percentage of it is singing. You know, I've been doing a bunch of jingle work back home. It's like, hey, you know, grab Lil and Ginger Ninja beer, and here's this 80s power ballad. And you're the guy to sing it. There's a ninja among us. It was very like, you know, gonna be a montage. Montage.
You should do a song from Chinese Ghost Story.
From which?
Chinese Ghost Story.
I don't.
You've done it before.
Is that where you were at?
If it pops back in my head. So yeah, I mean, it's another thing you do. It's not, and well, I mean, My Little Ponies, the character I'm playing on Ponies right now is all based on being a singer.
To which we value.
Thank you. There's very little dialogue with those guys. It's all, traveling sales ponies non-parade. It's also, but the thing is, it's singing in character. I've worked with a couple of bands back home, and it's like, this is awesome because no matter what we play, you sing that style. And it's like, yeah, which is awesome, but basically I'm just approaching singing like I do. I'm not really a singer, but if I create a character who can sing, he'll sing. What do you sing like? I don't know. What's my style of singing? I don't know. Basically, I have no identity of my own. Yeah. It's always point, and then it's like, it's like, yes, you, and everybody's, and then everybody. So yes, you were doing this like a letter C pointing.
Okay, I was wondering, what did you think about Dinobot's death?
What did I think about Dinobot's death? I went, this sucks. There goes the quarter of my paycheck.
Yep. Like, he saved humanity.
You know what was cool about that? And this is one of the reasons people say, what's your favorite thing? Because I've done so much pretty nice stuff, and honestly, most of it is 22 minutes, let's save the world and sell some toys. Beast Wars had a storyline much more like an anime series, where there was, because the writers on it were brilliant. So there is this arc. So Dinobot knew he was going to die 5 episodes before he died. I, had no idea. He's doing it, it's like a, to be or not to be. This whole beautiful Hamlet-esque Shakespearean internal angst-ridden, what am I, who am I? Anyway, am I my resume? And then, the rest is silence. Poof, and I'm like, oh, that was cool. Okay, when's he come back? He doesn't come back, Scott. He's dead. No, he's a cartoon. Cartoon dead. I said, no, he's dead. Dead.
3?
Dead.
But he came
Having said that, when I
back.
watched Code of the Hero, I cried like a little baby. Because that show was so good, the writing and everything, I just completely forgot that I was there.
I was watching it with my boyfriend, and he wouldn't tell me. He said there's deaths in this, and I thought my baby at the time was Rat Trap, actually. Yeah. And I was like, please don't kill off Rat Trap. Please don't kill off Rat Trap.
No,
but then
comedy relief, they never kill you.
But then Dinobot died. But then
he's Kenny, for God's sake.
He told me Silverbolt would make up for it, and it kind of did. But I was too sad over Dinobot.
And then they brought him back anyway.
Yeah,
I watched that scene a while ago, and Gary's performance as Optimus, the eulogy he delivers, I was just going. He may have been a stinking prick. He still knew where he stood. All right.
Speed it up.
Speeding it up. There is that. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. If you slow that down, it's actually saying really nasty things. So yeah, okay. In other words, you guys don't have to do anything. I have to talk faster. Yes.
Were there any voices that you did that kind of gave you a sore throat?
The only thing that I said actually was I was walking up and congratulating you guys on being the only things in the world that ever destroyed my voice. Playing Cobra Commander, which I did briefly after the great Chris Latta passed away. That one kind of hurts. Exactly. Do that for 8 hours is a stretch, except louder, and then it's like, no, we need to get it again. Do it, 20 takes of.
Yeah, directed by Walter.
Dinobot, let's be honest, Dinobot, I used what I created for Cobra Commander, and I went, I'm going to pitch that down 2 octaves. It's the same voice, vocally, as far as just the voice goes.
Cobra, take this down to about here, and suddenly you've got something new.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know where that weird little snort came. It was so when I saw it, first time we saw Beast Wars, we saw the first episode after they'd done it, we just flipped. We're just like. The first episode was a bit where Dave K's Megatron, he just animators. And he just little flick with his talons. And you go, those are real animators. They're not just people making the mouths and the shoulders. First time I saw Rat Trap, I went, every gesture he's doing, I did in the studio. And the first time Dinobot did that weird little snort inhale, and you see the nostrils went. Anyway, so is that answer?
Well, also I have, in He-Man Masters of the Universe, you played a dude called Stratos, right?
Yes.
Well, that's funny because my YouTube channel is named Mr. Stratos.
Mr. Stratos. I'm over here and shit on my lap. Yeah, that ended up just because that was one that was kind of cast afterwards, and the producers just went, "What if we did kind of like a Sean Connery thing?" And it was like, they went, "That's perfect. Okay, you're Stratos." I thought it was a weird choice myself. Yeah, that was a fun show to work on. It was Beastman, Ramman, Stratos, Clawful, Cobra Khan, Merman. No, Brian Dobson was Skeletor. He was brilliant. Although I'd like to have done it myself. He-Man. Yes. Now I'm doing the microphone. Yes. Yes, you who are doing this.
Are you a fan of the Three Stooges?
You know what? I've never really watched Stooges films.
What?
I don't watch TV. I'm way too ADD to sit there and go like, watching a Stooges film is probably the best thing to watch if you're as ADD as I am. Why I gotta? You know, a little bit of Rat Trap came from Stooges. I just realized that. And then, you know what? Actually, no, I just realized from Abbott Costello. There's a little, you know, but you know, Lou Costello's little signature line, you know, black and white comedy team from way back then was, "I'm a bad boy," which is basically, we're all gonna die. This is the kind of stuff you draw on to make the characters. Okay.
Be around.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 hands are up in the air. 4, okay, you're pushing. We're gonna do these and then we gotta get moving because there's a horde of ravenous, brain-eating, child-molesting zombies outside. So hands up right now, we'll get to something that's gonna be like lightning round, like bing, 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 bing. Yes. Yes.
What does it feel like looking
And time's
back?
up. Sorry.
What does it feel like looking back at where you were and where you are now, and the fact that you're an inspiration to aspiring artists?
You know how humbling that is? It's weird. I mean, it's also kind of a bummer when people go, "You were my childhood." I just, oh shoot, that was 25 years. Stuff half my life. I'm so, you know, people come up and do that. I'm working with people now that are going, I grew up wanting to do this because of you. I'm like, wow. And it's something, you know, on a more personal level. People have told me some really inspirational stuff, and I'm going, I'm just a schmuck who does cartoons. You know, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I've got this awesome job, and people have put meaning onto it. And it's like, wow. And yeah, I find it, you know, I'm still always think that, you know, the great voice actors are the ones that I think are the great voice actors. You know, if I went on, I'm like, oh, God, that's weird. I don't get it. Yes.
As to Maxwell, if you could say anything to Hiro Yui, what would you say?
Oh. That's not my pillow.
You said you did voices on Island, like the Misfit voice.
Yeah.
You said you did out and something else.
I was Herman the Elf, Yukon Cornelius, and Coach Common. Independent.
Scott, one more question and it will be quick. What do you think about 1 + 2? Or, yeah, 1 + 2.
Oh, geez.
You know why they call it Yowie? And purple in the back, and then we'll finish with you.
Wolverine versus Dinobot with Orion Coke in the equation.
Wolverine. Dinobot doesn't drink. You short circuit, you see what I did there? You give a Canadian Ryan Coke and he's bulletproof. And last but certainly not least, yes.
Do you think that voice acting is kind of like having multiple personality disorder? Where you just kind of have these things that are
Yes, actually, it really is. I mean,
Yeah.
people say like, I'm trying to remember her name. There's a stand-up comic. She's brilliant, and you know, she suffers from pretty severe depression and bipolar. This, that, and she's, you know, she's got a whole thing. She's going. People keep saying I'm schizophrenic. She's a voice actress, and she's brilliant. I'm not schizophrenic, but it really is. I've said, you know, I've taken a debilitating and horrifying mental illness and turned it into a fun and profitable career. Because half the time I don't know where they come from. I do have a lot of people living
Scares
in my
me.
head. I have found the greatest job in the world wherein I get to do that for money. My time spent in a small padded room screaming, I get paid for. And if I didn't, I'd be in a small padded room screaming. Yeah, it's a manifestation